So welcome. It is Friday, August 28th, and this is our bonus support Q&A call for the master class. And we're excited to talk about what you experienced and we get some feedback on how the masterclass was for everyone, as well as take some questions that might still be burning around the coaching program, the coach position, the technology, whatever it is that you need support with on this call. And then tomorrow, as you hopefully have heard, we have a coach webinar. We can dive even deeper into the coach position for those who are interested in potentially becoming a certified coach with our company. So let's go ahead, and I would just like to take a quick poll in the chat box. So if I would love to know on a scale from 1 to 10 how your experience with masterclass was so far, on a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 is it was horrible and 10 it was amazing. Okay, so just share how are things for you during masterclass. So yay, we got some 10s coming in. And then also let's go ahead and add our bank codes to our videos. So if I need to do it myself, so I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to take my cursor on my face and go to the 3 little dots in the upper right hand corner, click on it, and then choose rename. And I'm going to have my first name and then put ANKB after my first name, so you all know that's my bank code. And then Esther's also an ANKB, Mamie's an NABK. All right, so we want to see. Thanks, Julie. She's an NABK as well. And Kim is an NKBA. Yvonne's an NAKB. Diane's an NBKA. Greg's a BKNA. I love it. Stephen KNBA. Fantastic. So go ahead and if you're listening in, and you can turn your video on so we can see you, that's always helpful. And if you can add your bank code to your name. Thanks, Mary, for coming on video. NAKB. Paula, thank you for being on video. NAKB. And we're just going to make this a conversation today and support you in whatever way makes sense for you. So I want to also remind you on how to ask a question. So if you take your cursor and you scroll to the bottom of the Zoom window, a little menu bar pops up and there is a participants. If you click participants, that little box will pop up on the right-hand side and you will see a raise hand button. Okay, so that's how you raise your electronic hand. So if you've got any burning questions from last night or at all that you are really excited to ask us, go ahead and you can raise your electronic hand now. We'll take a few questions to start off the call. And then I'm going to give a demo of the brand new Codebreaker AI. We did an upgrade yesterday. I don't know if anybody has noticed it. If you've gone into your AI and you've tried to crack the code of some copy, it looks different than it did the day before yesterday. So I'm happy to give a little demo of what it looks like and also what to do differently now that we have had that upgrade. So I see Kim, you've got your hand up. Would you like to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Sure. What I was wanting to find out and get some clarification on is to share this with somebody else. I share my link. Now, yes. That will get them into the master class, but that's fixing to be over with, though, correct?
Oh, are you talking about to share the recordings of masterclass? You would have them register for masterclass?
Yeah, to share that, or yeah. I guess the link is just to correct the code then.
Yeah. So you're talking about 2 different things, it sounds like. So okay. Our masterclass recordings, if you want someone to sign up for the $1 special, they can do that through August 31st. So if you actually wanted to share this with somebody and say, hey, I took this masterclass this month, I've got this trial, maybe you'd like to do it too, you can absolutely do that, and they can register up through August 31st. And then they'll get in the Facebook group and they'll have access to the recordings and they can watch that whenever it works for them. So the recordings are going to stay in there and people can do that. If you're trying to crack their code, that's what your Bank Pass link is for. So in your virtual office, you should have a special URL that inside the Bank Pass area that you can just click on it. It'll open up another window, and that URL you can put in your signature block. You can email it to people. You can put it in social media posts if you want to, all of that. So does that answer your question, Kim?
Yeah, that did. And the second one I had is when I gave my husband the cards, there was two of them that he's like, I don't know, I'm close between these two, so I don't know, just whatever.
Yeah.
What do you do when you come across somebody like that?
Well, sometimes it could be.
What were the two? I like to know what the two were first.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see, N and B, the nurturing and the blueprint.
Were they the first cards or the middle cards or the last cards?
I just handed him the cards and he put them in order.
Okay, what was the first card he put in order?
I wasn't watching him. He just brought them to me and he said, I can't pick between the N and the B, so they're both the same to me. So, and I'm like, okay.
So how did you invite him? Like, how did you describe let me just share with you the script that we use. Okay. So when we're asking somebody to take the assessment, we hand the cards over. We say, read the values on the cards, sort them in order from the card that's most like you or most important to you on top to the card that's least like you or least important to you on the bottom. So those instructions are, because you are all four. It's just what is the order. And so that's why I was curious if he was struggling. He was struggling between two cards, but was it the first two? What, you know what I mean? Like you have to lay them out in order.
Okay. Yeah. When I gave it to him, I said,
and sometimes people have an equal code, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or there's only 1 point. When they do the full assessment, it's maybe 1 point difference. But then the question is, I always ask on the partner, what do you think their code is? Because you live with them. So that's probably the most accurate answer to his code is, does he show up more blueprint or more nurturing for you?
Okay. Yeah, for me, it's more blueprint. So because I told him to read all the descriptions on there and I said, then put the top card will be your number 1 and then 2, 3, 4. And then I just left him with that. When he brought it back to me, he said, the nurturing and blueprint, he said, I can't pick between, they're about the same to me. And to me, he's more blueprint than he is nurturing. So
I think that's the honest answer.
yeah. Okay. That's the only questions I have. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you, Kim.
And Metcalf, you've got your hand up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This program is just so exciting. I wish I had lots of money in the bank to go forward with it. But anyway, I'm appreciating the gifts of being able to use the website, and the AI is incredible. And I've been using it to input things for my this new online business I've got. And I was wanting to sort of take advantage of the upgrade that I thought we could do for the $99 in that month, but I don't know what button to push to get that.
Yeah, so if you're in your account and you go to the, I believe you go to the My Products area.
Okay.
The upgrade is called Bank Vault. So do you see the Bank Vault option?
Well,
Click on it. Once you click on the Bank Vault option, there will be a button to upgrade.
right.
So then once you click on that button, your card on file will be charged once you upgrade through that window.
Okay. So I get from me then it's a misunderstanding, because I thought when we opted in for the $1 for the program that you could sort of play with the Bank Vault, but you can only do that when you actually pay the $99.
Yeah, the $1 gave you access to Bank Pass and Codebreaker AI. So if you want to go into Bank Vault where all of the 50 plus hours of training are located, then you're going to want to upgrade by clicking on Bank Vault and hitting the upgrade button.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Thanks for the clarity.
Yeah, and it's a monthly subscription, so you can cancel at any time, right? Or you can downgrade to, if you knock yourself out and all the hours of training that we upload a lot of new training, and repetition is key when you want to become really good. But you know, it's good to explore, and there's amazing content in there.
All right, Mary Lent, you have your hand up.
Hi, sorry, I've got a partner. I am just wondering, so like when Kim was talking before and she said, how do you tell the difference between the two? So you mentioned something about an assessment that like has points so you know exactly what it is. Because I personally feel like A&N was really hard for me to choose the difference. And I was like, I was a nurse. So I think I'm more nurture. And so I went with it that way, but I felt like I had a hard time deciding what my number one was. So I didn't know.
Yeah, so if you are if you have the Bank Vault subscription, there is an advanced assessment you can take. And it actually ranks the different personality types on a scale from 1 to 25. And it asks you questions. The assessment takes about 5 to 7 minutes. You answer the 20 questions, and then you'll know what the spread is of your code. You'll know if you're tied, you know, because sometimes that happens. And maybe what you thought was your code when you shuffled the cards was slightly different when you took the in-depth assessment. So it does sort of help give clarity, but that is available inside Bank Vault.
Okay. I just wasn't sure.
Sure. All right, Greg Sanders.
Okay, finally got it unmuted. Got a quick question. When we're doing the evaluation online and we're looking at somebody's code based off of what they posted or what they read, and I've noticed this on myself, based on my code, what I write tends to be more nurturing and action. And so if I decode that online, it says that I'm an action nurturer. And I'm like, well, that's not right. So I've noticed that as well when I look at other people's profiles or whatnot, it comes back and it decodes it differently than what they actually say they are. So how do you address that problem?
Yeah, that's not a problem.
Well,
when,
I mean,
when we communicate with people, when we send out emails, or we do a marketing advertisement, or we send out an email blast, to really connect with people, automatically become more kind and more nurturing. And if you want them to take action on what you're writing, then automatically you're going to write more nurturing and action. That doesn't mean your code is that way, but that's why it's so important to always crack the code with the AI, because depending on the topic, I'm action nurture, and mainly my communication is action nurture. But depending on the topic or the email or who I'm talking to, I can shift it into K or B, depending on what I want out of my communication with the other party. And so what I see happen a lot is people become more nurture and more action, especially when they're entrepreneurs. If you always blueprint and knowledge, you will turn off a lot of people. So actually it's a good thing that you write a little bit more nurturing, so a little bit more kind, so you will attract more people to take action on what you offer. So that happens, and that's okay. So, you know, for me, my profile on LinkedIn is exactly who I am, but I see a lot of people, we crack their code and it tells their code, and then I go to the LinkedIn profile and I said, hey, but this is how you show up. Yeah, and they say, this is how I want to impress the outside world with my profile, but that's not who I am. So, and then I explain, so you give up 2 different messages to the world. So maybe you have to alter it a little bit. You can still share all your credentials and how amazing you are, but try to align it with your code, because then you can have authentic conversations. So there's no wrong happening here.
I've changed a lot of what I've posted, so I'm kind of even across the board. But, you know, what Sherry was saying before in some of the meetings, that, you know, if you're speaking with an action person, you don't want to bore them with details. You want to kind of be a mover and shaker type of thing. So that's what I was kind of looking at as an issue. If I did not know that you were an action person, I would not be speaking to you. So by seeing that information that it gives me, and it tells me that, you know, that person is an action nurturer, and I go to talk to them, and now all of a sudden they want more detail because they're actually a knowledge or blueprint person. I kind of started the conversation on the wrong foot, and I need to change that. So that's what I was kind of seeing what I can do to
Yeah, you're doing actually really well, because the first impression, if you want my attention, it has to be action nurture. But the moment an action asks for me more details, means they're actually interested and that they're willing to read more or learn more or have a longer conversation. But the first interaction has to be, in my case, action nurture. But I can even go on my K and ask for a white paper. That doesn't mean I'm suddenly a K. It's just you got my attention because you spoke my code and you actually have something really interesting I want to know more about. We're still all four, but to get my attention, it has to be AN. And in your case, when I talk to you, my first impression to you has to be BK. So I have credentials, I know my facts, I know what I'm talking about. And then when you have the feeling that I am the right person to talk to and know what I'm talking about, then you probably will show up more nurture and ready to take action to the next step. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think you can see why I'm a BK. You know.
And there is nothing wrong with any code. All codes are amazing and all codes are annoying. So.
All right.
Thanks, Greg. Dahlia, I know you wanted to share a quick win or quick story. Go ahead, Dahlia.
Hey there. Yeah, so I have a house for sale and the buyer has a home sale contingency. So I reached out to the realtor of the buyers to see, you know, how their home sale was going. And she left me a voicemail and said, thanks for calling me earlier. It's like a crazy market. We're still selling within 36 days. We're a great, you know, we're a top 1% team in Chicago. And then at the very end of the voicemail, she said, we're happy with these clients and I'm going to sell this home and I'm going to sell it tomorrow. So I just want you to feel that same level of confidence. Thanks for talking to me earlier. And of course, as a high K, I recognize she's very, you know, action nurturing. And when somebody says to you, I'm going to sell it tomorrow, if you say that to a knowledge or a blueprint, they literally take that tomorrow and all of a sudden it sounds hypey and exaggerating. So I transcribed her voicemail in the AI, and sure enough, she was very nurturing. Next was action, and then very low blue knowledge. So I actually reached out and sent her an email and showed her all this, and we just connected like 30 minutes ago and more. But it was really like an entire conversation off, and of course being familiar with bank, trying to get a listing agreement with.
Nadia, you're breaking up really bad. We can only get bits and pieces of what you're sharing.
Yeah, your connection's kind of bad, Dolly. Can you share it in the chat box?
I'll record it and post it in the Facebook group.
That's great. Great idea.
Perfect.
Thanks for sharing.
Otherwise the A's get annoyed.
Like, I can't hear you. Lachelle.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my question is about the CRM component to this, which I just want you to know I have been loving playing with this. I have been working on my webinar and my signature talk, and it's funny because I'm an NKBA. My signature talk, both the two main parts of my stories, came up super high A and almost like even on the A and the N, which is funny because A is supposedly my N. So it's interesting. I've had the same notice, what I'm noticing what Greg has, as I've run all my emails through this week, almost all of them are coming up as A or like super high A's and N's. Anyways, so my question is about the CRM component. And I wanted to know, is it strong enough that we can use it for like, as in like MailChimp or something like that? Like, replace it MailChimp, or do we need that on as well as the bank?
Do you want to answer that, Esther?
Yes, right now I recommend you keep your MailChimp, but in the future we're working on making it a BCRM people can just plug in their companies and use it for everything they're doing right now. Like some people use Infusionsoft or MailChimp, or there's so many options.
Right.
we're really working on the CRM to make it basically a plug and play for everything you do, and even if you have 2 or 3 businesses, so you can plug it all in one. They're building that. I don't know when it's ready.
Okay.
I don't expect that soon, knowing how technology works, and their timelines are always off.
I get it.
Right now, keep what you have.
Well, I'm actually starting out, so I was like, if this just means I don't have to do another software, I would love that. But if it's not ready, then I'll do the other one in the interim.
Just dive deep in CRM, and it depends on what you wanted to do, right? You can send emails right now. You can collect all the contact information and all their bank codes, and you can build marketing stuff. You can use it for many things, depending how in depth you go. If you're just a single entrepreneur, then you're fine with the bank BCRM, and Stephanie can guide you more on what she is using and how she has been doing it. Depending if you're starting or you already have a whole database, and it has many factors. So I think Stephanie, you can guide better, because we as company owners have different systems than our coaches and trainers. So I think Stephanie and Mamie have been both using different systems to support their bank business and their other businesses.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I do have Infusionsoft. However, I am looking to get rid of it eventually. So I am hopeful that the BCRM will be something I can use to replace my $250 a month I pay for my Infusionsoft. It's a great program, but you got to really dive deep and use a lot of features to make it worth it. So
that is going to happen. It's just a timeline I cannot give right now, because we're already talking to a lot of companies who actually want to have our CRM system. So, but we're just not ready, and I don't want to roll anything out that's not ready.
No, I totally agree. Well, and I think that because I'm just kind of on the new side, I thought, well, if I can do this, and I would love to make it work. But my next question is, if I do choose to just go with you guys, because I'm like, I don't want to be paying all these things, because money just keeps flying out the door. And I love this, so I really want to do this. But if I have people that I haven't coded yet, would you say don't put them into the system till they get coded, or what would you suggest with that?
Yeah, code them and get them in the system. Either you do it with the cards or with the bank pass, or you use the AI, and then over time, when you communicate with them later, you can change their code, right? You can manually change the code in the system.
Oh, perfect.
There's actually
you code everyone. Everybody know.
Yeah, there's actually quite a few features in the current version that are great for just starting out. I mean, you basically just need some place to collect all their contact information. You can tag people, you can filter, you can send emails to them through the BCRM. So actually some of the basics of a CRM are there. So I would say test it out, put 10 people in there, play around, see what you can do with it. And then that will help you decide if this is something that you need supplemental stuff for a while, or if you can just, use it for what it is for now. All right, so with that, I don't see other hands up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a demo of the new AI so you can see it in case you haven't seen it yet. And I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so here we are in the demo account, and I'm going to go to Codebreaker AI under products. And here you see it has a new look from what it used to look like before. We've got some icons here. This is the enter the text. So this is a copy and paste version, which, by the way, I don't know if anybody has experienced, there was a glitch that Diane Gould, who was on here today, identified this morning with me. For now, they're working on fixing it, but for now, if you are copying and pasting using your mouse with a right click, what's happening is it's not recognizing the characters. So down here, you can have up to 10,000 characters in a box. So it's saying 0 out of 10,000 characters, even if you've got a whole paragraph in here. So the way that you can get around that is when you select copy, let's say if I select this copy right here, I have to do a Control-C, then I come over here and do a Control-V, and now you can see there's 133 out of 10,000 characters. So this is allowing me to decode the text. But if I were to, right click and copy, it's not functioning correctly. So just know that that's a glitch that we're going to work on. So basically, once you copy the text in here, you hit decode now. And then it tells you that text was AKBN. What you want to do to be able to see the bar graph, because before the bar graph was right down here, but you don't see the bar graph right now. What you have to do is click on this heart. Once you click on that heart, the bar graph shows up. Okay, so you see action and knowledge really are the two codes for that particular text. All right, now, if this was an email, and now I want to respond to this person, I'm going to hit responding code, right? And now I can draft my response, action and knowledge, and then I can go here and decode my reply, and it says, great job, because it's action, just like that copy was action first. Or if I did something else, if I just typed knowledge, decode my reply, oops, try again, your response doesn't match your code. So it's still giving you, and then you can go back if you want to. You can also reset it. Once you reset it, it takes you back to the box. We have record text using your microphone, and this is in beta, but it does work. So let me just demo it for you. I'm going to click here. Now, the first time I did this morning, my computer actually asked me to give access to the microphone. So I did hit yes on giving access to my microphone. And then down here is a start recording button. So if I click this, now as I speak into my microphone, it's going to start translating that into the box. And it does take a couple seconds for it to recognize. At least it did this morning when I tested it. There we go. Now I'm going to hit stop. So it did take a couple seconds, but it popped in there. And now I can decode that. I was speaking AK. So I want to see the bar graph. I hit the heart. Okay. So that is that. And then we have an upload text, Word, or PDF. So if I want to upload a file, I want to upload a Word file. Okay. All I did is I uploaded it. It was a Word file. It stuck it in here. I hit decode now. This is NABK. Okay. So you can do it as an attachment. You can do voice to text. And the other thing here is that there's an option for you to add someone. Let's say it was an email. So let me grab an email real quick. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Any text will do. We'll pretend it was an email. Now, if I know that this email came from, I'm going to just use myself, okay? Now I can enter that contact information here and add it as a contact. So it's just another way to put someone into your database. So let me just, I'm already in this database, so it might not actually work. Yeah. Let me see here. Okay, yeah. All right, so let me just reset this because I'm already in here. Let me just say relationships, decode. All right, it's coming up nurture. Now these little icons do different things. So this one gives you the bar graph and it also shares the values, right? The values are right here. This next one, if you click on it, shares the behaviors of a nurturer. This one shares the triggers to a yes. This one shares the tripwires to the no. And this one shares the power script formulas for nurturing. All right, so this is the educational piece if you want to learn more about a code before you hit respond. So the whole idea here is you're teaching yourself about that code before you hit respond so that when you hit respond, now you're better set up to actually type something in the nurturing code and be able to check it, okay? So let me just go ahead and stop sharing for a second just to check in and see if we've got some questions around the new AI and the look of the new AI. Mary Lynch, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I was just going to share with you. I know you have to smile at her. I should just let her talk. She'd make everybody laugh. But I found this morning that when I was copying and pasting with my mouse, that if I copied and pasted with my mouse and then I just clicked in the box with my mouse and hit backspace, it would work that way too.
Really?
I was able to decode it that way too. Mommy. So if you, so try it. Like I copied and pasted something with my mouse and then I put just clicked in the box with my mouse and then hit enter and then backspace or, something like that combination. Hold on. And it worked for me today.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. I see. Cause I see yep, that's what it worked for me too. I just did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we shouldn't have to do that. So I'll make sure that we can.
Are comfortable with the Control C, Control V. It will work the backspace.
Yes. Thank you for that little workaround for the time being. Very helpful. All right. We've got all kinds of problem solvers. Anyone else have any questions about, maybe it doesn't have to be about AI. It can be about anything else, anything regarding the coaching program or Kent, your hand is up.
Okay, I had to unmute myself. I've been partially going to classes. I've had such a heavy schedule and medical issues. So it's almost like I've wasted my time because I haven't had a chance to experiment or anything else, even though when I first approached, when Sherry first made the proposition with Eric, I put the dollar in because I figured I had to put that in order to be part of the master class. So I think what I need to do is, how do I repeat? Is there a way to delay my dollar commitment so that I can start these master classes again? Because I've got such a heavy plate right now, it almost feels like it won't be until October that I get a chance to even play with everything. But I want to be in on a coaching program because I've got people I want to be able to refer. And if there's a way for me to earn some money to get these people in, which have, see, I don't even have a really great mailing list. The people I talk to do have mailing lists. So it's sort of like, I think they could be much more effective in the businesses that they have if I can get them in and use the bank system.
Esther, do you want to answer that?
Is there a way to talk to you privately rather than have to answer the question publicly?
No. So in general, let me say this: we do the $1 trial was only during masterclass, and people can still subscribe till August 31st, and then have a month access, right? Because you're already in the system in the $1 trial, you cannot get it again because the system will block you. So in the general, that is the answer. If you send an email to coach@Coopmarket, let me see where you're at, and then I can see, and then I can log into your account and see how often you logged in and what happened.
I have not logged in at all.
You need to know my policy. As a company owner, I'm against exceptions and drama. Right. So I will try to avoid both at all times.
Right, okay.
So because exceptions 9 out of 10 times lead to drama, because when I give one person another month for $1, then I have 500 people who want to have another month for $1. And the moment you signed up, and if there was a medical issue coming, it's okay. When there was a medical issue or something, very urgent, I'm happy to look at it. So please email coaches@coopmarket.com, but so you know my policy. And then I will look in the system and get back to you and discuss. Make sense?
So Esther, in this sense, then, if I refer people, I won't necessarily get anything of it. It's just to their advantage that they participate.
Yes.
Okay.
Only our coaches and our trainers can resell our product and get paid commissions.
But then I've got to make that other commitment too. Okay, then I really haven't gone onto the system since we started the classes. I just made the commitment to try and show up to the classes at least to listen. So I'm really excited about what you guys are doing because I've been exposed to other things in the past. But at my age, I'm much slower at learning these things now too. So that was part of it. Now, so what you're going to say is that if I try and sign up a system again for another $1, it won't allow me to do that.
No, because you're already in the system. Everybody gets only one chance to do the $1 trial, because otherwise people keep signing up for the $1
That
trial.
part I understand.
Yeah.
Now, is there a way I can review looking at all these classes again? Or is that taped?
All of the recordings of everything are inside the private Facebook group, inside the unit section, and organized. So including these bonus calls on Friday. So if you need to go back and review the master classes or the bonus calls, or re-download the worksheets, it's all inside the Facebook group.
So Stephanie, I need to do that before my September, whenever it is that I signed up for it?
Nope. As long as you're already inside that Facebook group, that information is going to stay there. So you can take your time to review the information, go back, watch the videos a second time. We're not going to take them away. So
because I just joined, in other words, I just joined the Facebook group today when I saw that last email.
Yep.
So then I'm always in there as long as I'm part of as long as I'm part of the system.
No, as long as you don't leave the Facebook group, you have access to those recordings. And we have people who have not yet signed up for the $1 trial who are also in there and will also remain having access to those recordings. It's our gift. It's our gift to the entrepreneurs during this, challenging time of COVID. And so that information is yours, and you can review it whenever it works for you. So, try not to feel like you're behind, because there's lots of people who just signed up yesterday.
I'm feeling I'm behind. I put in the $1, but I never really activated to get into the system. So is technically my $1 expiring when I first signed up, or is it, but I haven't hit the system?
Yeah,
hey,
go ahead, Mamie.
Hey, Kent, this is Mamie. I just sent you, I sent the coach@codebreakertech.com email to you. Go ahead and send me an email, and then we can set up a call, and I can go through some things with you, and we'll catch you up. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
All right. Appreciate it. Take
Jan,
care.
Jan, you've got your hand up.
Hello there. I just wanted to ask, you mentioned yesterday that we can also do voicemails, decode voicemails. So how would that work with the microphone? Would you have to play it as you activate the microphone?
Yes, it's exactly what you would do. You would just do what I did. You'd pull it up, you'd hit the record button, you'd put your phone next to the microphone, and you'd play it loudly so that it would go right in. The other thing too is I actually subscribe on my phone. Some people actually have voice to text as an option. Their voicemail gets automatically turned into a text message. Like my phone does that. I have T-Mobile. So I could take that text message and of course just go ahead and put it in the AI.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Vonda.
Hi there.
Hi.
I'm wondering about the coaching program. I know that there's the 4 modules. I forget what you call them. Core. There's 4 of them total.
The 6 intelligences in the coaching program. So there are actually 6 different modules. Yeah.
What I'm talking about is you're buying 4, instead of just the 190-day thing, it's 4 of them.
Oh, you're talking about the circuits. 1 circuit, 2 circuits, or 4 circuits. Yes.
Okay. So does it take you the entire year? Do you have to go through all 4 to become a coach or a trainer or to resell?
No. So the coach certification is completely separate in the sense of we have a 90-day certification process. Okay. So you're going to get certified in 90 days. You're going to go through the program as if you were a student of the coaching class, because you have to experience the actual material to be able to then go coach other people in it. And we give you additional certification support. So for example, in week 1 of certification, you would take personality intelligence coaching. Okay, as if you were a student, and Mamie and I would coach you through personality intelligence and give you a assignment for the week. Okay, and then that next week you would come on to a certification call with us where we talk about what is it like to be a coach and actually facilitate this module with your clients. so that you learn how to coach it to other people.
Okay.
And then in week 3, you come back and you do sales intelligence with us as if you were a student, right? So on and so forth. So we put you through a 90-day circuit for the 2 purposes of taking the actual material and learning how to facilitate it and coach it to other people.
Is there any kind of a testing process at the end to make sure I'm competent?
Yes, so we have standards. And Mamie, do you want to jump in and share what some of the requirements are to be certified?
Absolutely. So Vonda, you'll actually go through the certification course. We have anything and everything that you need to know on how to set up your coaching through teaching the coaching. In fact, we've got a coaching guide that will give you A to Z, step by step for you.
Okay.
All right. The other thing too is, in order for you to become a coach with us, you must have gone through the coaching, because we believe that if you have gone through the coaching, you know what is going to be coming up for your clients. That's one of the requirements. So not only will you go through the class, you will also take the assessments. You'll also go through the map, which will add to how to build your business and how to integrate it into your business.
Okay.
So it's not just a teaching on a lecture. You will be engaged.
Okay.
What you've already saw is, we don't let you fall asleep on any one of our Zooms.
I know there was a lot of talk yesterday about accountability in the coaching
Yes.
program, and so I kind of figured.
Yeah, so we do. You go in as a student, you complete all the what we call success work as a student. You get one-on-one touch points with the coaches, and we give you support calls through it. Any of the workbooks that you require is also provided within your $99 subscription. You will get a multitude of different ways that you'll be able to learn. You're going to get live sessions with Stephanie and I, with guest appearances by other people. You will get workbooks. You will also get homework within the online training. So not only are you going to be using your tools, you're going to actually be integrating your tool set into the coaching business as we go from topic to certification, topic to certification. That's the beauty of how we set this program up. You get to learn it, and then you get to implement it right after you learn it. So what I call alternative learning styles, that's what we're good at. All right. So you're going to be integrating, taking action, learning. We're going to use all modes of learning as well as all personality integrations into it. So, did that answer your question?
All right, Bettina, you've got your hand up. I like your name.
Hand up. Good morning. Thank you. I haven't joined too many of the calls, unfortunately, so I might ask a question which you answered already a million times. I'm more in the mediation field, and I would like to learn more about the people I will work with the cards. So how that typically works, they inquire by phone. So I can't simply record that. I would think that would be not good business. But I would, when they book, I have a website, Calendly app, and when they book the appointment, that this is a free thing they do, so I know ahead of time whom I will have in front of me. Can I link that, the Calendly and the code? Because I'm not too sure how to send out the email. I think I always have to send them the website, right, to get their...
Yeah, so that's what I do with my Calendly. I have a question inside of my appointment setter inside Calendly. It's a required question. It includes the link to go take the assessment in the question, so that they have to go to another window to take the test, and then they have to fill in their bank code into the field before they can finalize their appointment with me. So that's a great way to use Calendly to ensure that you get the bank code before you talk on the phone.
Okay, so and I will find how to do that in Calendly. Okay.
Yeah, there's a way to edit the appointment or edit the, I can't forget what they're called, because you can create different types of appointments in Calendly, but there's a way to add required questions. So that's
Okay.
where you add it.
Events, Stephanie?
I'm sorry?
Is it events? Calendar?
Yeah, let me go onto my Calendly real quick. Let me see what it's called. It's events. Yes, it's you create a new type of event and then you name it, right? And then you decide what hours of the day and week that you have available for that event, right? So you can edit, you know, and then there's a place to add required questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Greg, you got your hand up again?
Yes, quick question. On the Codebreaker website, if you click on the sandwich icon on the left right-hand side, it pops up with your little personal menu thing, and it says My Bank Code, and it shows you the 4 different colors. If you put your mouse over one of those colors, it shows you a nice square image of what that blueprint or knowledge is with little bit of text underneath of that. Is there any way of getting those panels to print out or get a copy of those?
They are in BankPass when you get the reports.
Okay, so what I was looking to do is maybe put those 4 panels on a single sheet for a quick wall reference type of thing, just to glance up at.
Yeah, and have it next to your computer, next to your phone, so when you talk to people, you have a little cheat sheet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I did 7 years ago when I met Sherry. I actually bought 4 CDs, so we came a long way. And I had 3x5 cards, and I always had them next to my computer and my phone. So, you know, that's how you also learn it really fast. If you use it all day long as a cheat sheet, then you become really good pretty fast. So it's a great way to do it, Craig.
Yeah, I like the little sales tips that are at the bottom, and it is just a quick read while you're talking to somebody, you know.
Yeah, in fact, let me just show everyone what you were just talking about so they can see that. So here it is. See how the box pulls up? Yeah, so what I would do if you wanted to kind of do a workaround is you could do a screenshot, you know, and then edit it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I was trying to do the whole thing.
Definitely BankPass in the BCRM is it right behind the name and you crack somebody's code. So
yeah, let me see what's possible here with the graphics in BankPass. If you go to the lead area, yeah, this is the place where you download the reports. You see either the sales or the profile, but those little quick at a glance. Oh yeah, look at that. So if you click at it there, it also brings it up.
Let me see here.
So that might even be easier to capture than the other ones were. I'm not sure, but that's another place where you can play around. This is all so new, so we're all learning too. We're like, oh, cool, look at that.
Steph, we only get better, and it's going to be easier and simpler and faster every single time.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even, like the AI first came out last fall, and already we've done several new revisions and upgrades, and it's just keep getting crazier and crazier how awesome it is. So has anybody been using the Google Chrome extension? Yeah, that's pretty fun too. I like to see, especially when someone reaches out to me and they try to sell to me on LinkedIn. I am all over going through their profile.
Like, it's unbelievable. I thought it was first only Facebook where I got all those pitches coming in on Messenger and people want to date me, and now it's happening on LinkedIn too.
Oh yeah, and a lot of them are LinkedIn experts, prospecting experts, you know, sales and marketing experts, and I'm just like, let me show you something, and I like reverse sell them.
I do that all the time, right? Reverse sell. No, that doesn't work. How you just pitch me, that's not gonna work. Let me tell you how you should do it.
That's right. I'm like, hey, just so you know, my personality type is action, and you just wrote a blueprint outreach email to me. That's not going to work. You know, if you'd like to learn more, then let's set up a 15-minute call. You know, it's so fun. I love it. I'm no longer annoyed when I get them now. And now it's like, ooh, another prospect. I don't even have to do anything, and prospects are coming into my funnel. So yeah, fun stuff. And you've got your hand up.
Could you explain that, what you just talked about the Google Chrome extension?
Yeah,
how
sure.
do you use that?
Sure, absolutely. So here, let me go ahead and share my screen again. So first of all, because if you've got the $1 trial, you absolutely can grab the Google Chrome extension. What you're going to want to do is go to the Google Chrome extension web store, whatever they call it. In fact, here, let me throw it into the chat box. I have to pull up the chat box really quick. It's always different when I'm screen sharing. Okay, so you go to this link that I just shared, and then you're going to type in Codebreaker Technologies. Okay, and here it is. And I already have it, so that's why it says rated. Otherwise, it would say install. Okay, so then once it's installed, it comes up here in my little I don't know what you call this. It's not a search bar. It's just some kind of whatever extensions I've got. Okay, so I know I have it. Now, when I'm in LinkedIn, so let's go to my LinkedIn. Let me close all these windows now. See all the people that are reaching out and trying to sell me stuff? I can see them all right here. So now there's a button right here that says click to decode personality. All right, now when you click this, it takes whatever profile you're on, doesn't matter if you're connected to them or not, and it throws all their information into this beautiful little template. It tells me the bank code of the person. That is my bank code. It's based on this content right here in the profile summary. I have to be logged in. So see how it says log out here? So it's not going to do this unless you're logged in. So it might be blank, and you have to make sure you're logged in order for this to work. And you may also have to hit this form filler to grab the contact information if you haven't logged in when you first try this, okay? So just know that that is a setup piece. Then I can hit save contact if I want to, and it'll immediately throw all that information into my BCRM. So it's a great way and one click to gather contact information right out of LinkedIn. If I go to my Codebreaker here, it pulled all that about section information into here, and here's the bank code. So it's actually showing me the amount of the text, this is pretty accurate for my personality type actually. Okay, so this is a great way just to get a sense of at least what the profile is saying. It might not be their actual bank code, but it gives you at least a data point. And then you can actually go into the My Leads area here, and you can see if once you pull it in, you can go here and see it directly while you're still in LinkedIn. Okay, so it's kind of like an interface that gets you to your account right through the LinkedIn profiles. So it's pretty cool stuff. Did that answer does that satisfy, Anne? Okay. Excellent. Well, we got about 5 minutes left, so we're happy to answer any other questions that you might have around the coaching program, the tools, the coach position. So we are yours to chat with. Lachelle.
I'm very curious about your coaching. So one of the things, I'm currently in 9 programs. I'm a little over the top, but I'm very, very interested in this. And so I want to know what the time commitment is and like how much it is. Because I was thinking about it last night, I'm like, I really don't want to wait until the next time you guys offer it, but I'm just trying to strategize right now. So that's something that for me.
Well, it does start next week. So were you saying that it's too soon for you to start next week?
I'm just trying to evaluate that right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the next time we're going to do it is going to be the next masterclass start January 1st.
Okay.
So it's going to be another 4 weeks. Then we have a 1 week break. And then, so it's going to be February 18 or something, top of my head, that we will start with the next So it will push you out a little further into 2021.
Yeah. So, and that's what I'm trying to evaluate is that, so in the coaching, should I just wait until the call on Saturday or because I was trying to see how many calls it is a week and how much time it does to do the homework to be able to be effective.
1 call a week.
Okay.
And your homework, the time, how much time your homework take, maybe you can answer that, or maybe Jane is on here, or Dahlia, you did the homework, Carol, you did the homework. Is it like, I don't know. I didn't do the homework. I only created it.
You did it a different way, Esther.
I just created it. That was a lot of work, trust me.
You had to do it the old-fashioned hard way, and that's why we're paying you to be the coach or the program, so we can learn it faster. So yeah. Thank you.
A lifelong investment of my time and energy.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Lachelle.
Lachelle, just so you know, the homework takes as long as you want because it integrates into what you're doing. And so some people, it could take, it could take an hour a week. For others, it could take a little more than an hour a week. The good news is this, you get approximately almost a week and a half to complete your homework before the next would actually be done. How's that? So you get a workbook and you go at your pace. And the good news is this, the pace that you're going also may take time in the sense that you're going to need to think about, how do I incorporate this into what I'm doing now? Or how do I incorporate it into a business that I'm looking at doing? Okay. So it is really, it's going to be really up to you. You could spend an hour on it, or you could spend a little bit more depending on where you're at with your business or where you want to go with it. But you do have about a week and a half to complete the homework before the next.
Yeah, and to complete all the homework, you have actually the whole 12 weeks.
Yeah.
So you were not like you have to finish it before you can join the next call. You actually have, so maybe you have a block where you're less busy so you can catch up. So we're not like, our blueprint is less for all of us. So we're not going to be sticklers on, you have to send it right now. So we're going to be pretty flexible in it.
Okay, thank you. That actually makes me feel better. So
I would love to know who of those of you remaining on the call right now, who's planning on being on the call tomorrow for the coach call. Can you type coach in the chat box if you're coming to the coach call tomorrow. Type coach in the chat box, since some people don't have their video on and I can't see if they're raising their hand. All right, got a few of you coming tomorrow. Great. Awesome. All right, well, you can still reach out on the Facebook group if you have questions. Definitely, for those of you who are coming on tomorrow, we'll give you the whole in-depth, detailed, step-by-step on how to become a certified coach with us, if that feels like a good fit for you. And in the meantime, you still have access to all of the recordings, and you can even sign up your friends if you'd like to. If you'd like to gift that $1 to other people, they have until August 31st. So it's a great opportunity to do a favor for somebody you know, right? Because it's always good to get a little deposit in someone else's banks in case you need a favor later. That's how I look at it. So definitely feel free to share that with people and let us know how we can support you. All right, so thanks everybody. And we like to hear, we have a tradition for ending our calls. We like to everyone unmute themselves, and on the count of 3, we'll all say bank together. Okay, so go ahead, unmute yourself. On the count of 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3, and bang.
Bang.
See you soon.
Bye.